2.15 is the activity to round the gasket corners. Okay, let's read this first. Round the gasket corners using a 3D CAD operation called fillet. A fillet is a corner treatment. It takes a sharp corner and rounds it off. Let's try it. In the 3D workspace, choose the top left edge of the gasket. This is a small line that is only about 2 millimeters long, so you need to zoom in. Okay, let's see. Another thing I'll just show you real fast, you can get different views of the product by using this box here, and I'm just going to go straight on. The straight on view is a little bit easier for me to look at when we have these sort of 2D parts. It's a 3D part because it has thickness, but mostly we would call this like a 2.5D part because there's not a lot going on in the third dimension. Okay, what are we going to do now? We are going to find, let's see, the top left edge. What this wants us to find is this little edge right here. Okay, select it, turns orange. With the edge selected, click the Fillet command in the command window. Change the radius from 10 to 20. Okay, so this is in the feature. This is in the features, excuse me. Fillet. Okay, 10, and switch to 20. You can see the preview. And then I'm going to hit the green check mark, which is right over here. And this has produced one of my 4 things. All right, now I want to edit the fillet feature by right-clicking on it in the design tree. Right-click and edit. And what I want to do is now add the 3 other corners by coming in here and zooming onto this one. Now that's going to do both of them in the same operation. I click on this one. And you know, if I accidentally clicked the wrong one like this, all I have to do is go into that edge and delete it. Okay, and go get the edge that I did want, which is that one. Okay, I'm zooming in and out, just using the center scroll button. Okay, so I'm going to save that, or not save that, but accept that. Okay, and then this says add 16 millimeter fillets to the inside corners of the gasket. This will be a new fillet feature, not an edit to the previous one. Try creating this feature by first selecting the fillet command, then choosing the edges to fillet. The only reason for this is to demonstrate various ways to choose an item to fillet. Okay, let's see if I understand that. First selecting the fillet command. Okay, so last time we did this, we selected the edge and then the fillet command. What we want to do now is instead get the fillet command, and it's now asking us what to fillet. We're going to go in there and get those little edges. Okay, that's sort of hard to pick. You're going to have to zoom in. Okay, the defaults to the previous value you had, so it's trying to put a 20 millimeter fillet in here. We don't want a 20 millimeter fillet, but that's okay. It's parametric, meaning we could make it 20 millimeters and then just go change it. But we can also just change it before we fully define this thing. So switch that to 16. Okay, we hit go on this. Okay, this is the final gasket shape and size. Check that it is correct by evaluating the mass properties. Its final mass should be 82.83. Okay, we're going to go back into the Evaluate Command Manager, go up into Properties, and we've got 82.83. Okay, 82.83 grams. So that has worked out just right for us. We want to save this part. Save. Which activity is this? Is 215. 215. Great. All right. So at this point then, you have done a number of activities. What did you learn while you were doing those activities? Just read what the guidebook says. By taking the time to complete these activities, you now have learned enough about CAD sketching to create a geometrically correct and materially correct gasket for the turbocharger, as shown in the figure below. Through the activities, you learned firsthand how 3D geometry is constructed from 2D shapes, such as rectangles and circles. You learned about specifying shape, specifying size, and specifying location or placement in space. You began learning about geometric relations and how to add them and delete them. You learned about 3 simple 3D CAD operations: extrude, cut, and fillet. You learned how to evaluate the parts you created by doing a simple mass properties evaluation. And you learned about the importance of creating fully defined sketches and how to make them. So that's actually quite an accomplishment for about an hour's worth of work. Okay.